Have you ever noticed how proud people are of things they've built themselves, no matter how imperfect they are? That wobbly table, the hand-decorated cake, the amateur painting. There's something powerful about the effort behind the object. But why? This isn't just a random human quirk. It's a well-documented psychological phenomenon known as the IKEA Effect, a bias that causes people to overvalue products, projects, or even ideas simply because they've invested their own labor into them. And yes, it's named after the famous Swedish furniture company, IKEA. But the IKEA Effect goes far beyond flat-pack furniture. It's about how effort shapes value. It affects your shopping behavior, your attachment to your work, and even the way you see yourself. So let's unpack this fascinating effect, piece by piece. The IKEA Effect was formally identified by researchers Michael Norton, Daniel Moshon, and Dan Ariely in 2011. In one of their most famous experiments, participants were asked to assemble simple origami creations, frogs and cranes. Some participants built the figures themselves, while others were shown pre-made ones of the same design. When asked to assign value to the origami, people who built them themselves were willing to pay significantly more for their creations than others were. What's more, they believed others would value their work just as much. But here's the twist. To an outside observer, the self-built origami wasn't especially impressive. It was often lopsided, messy, or poorly folded. Still, the builder saw it as uniquely valuable. Why? Because it wasn't just paper anymore. It was a reflection of their effort, their choices, and even their identity. This is the heart of the IKEA Effect. When we invest effort into something, we become psychologically attached to it. That effort creates a story, a sense of ownership and pride that doesn't exist when something is simply handed to us. Now, let's talk about IKEA, the brand. If you ever shop there, you know the experience. You walk into a maze-like store, see beautifully staged rooms, pick up boxes with weird names, and take them home in pieces. Then comes the real test, assembling it yourself. And that's not a mistake. It's the business model. By requiring customers to assemble their own furniture, IKEA isn't just cutting shipping and labor costs. It's triggering the IKEA Effect on a massive scale. The very act of building the product makes you feel more connected to it. It's your chair, your effort, and your success. Even if you curse under your breath while trying to find the right screw, once it's done, you're proud. And that pride makes you more likely to keep the item, care for it, and return to IKEA for your next project. This strategy works beyond furniture too. Think about Lego. Why do people buy boxes full of hundreds of tiny pieces when they could just buy a pre-built model? It's the joy of building it yourself, of seeing your own hands bring something to life. Or look at cooking kits like HelloFresh. You're still doing the cooking, but they provide the structure and tools. The effort you invest makes the meal taste better, even if it's not restaurant quality. Even tech companies use this principle. Think about personalizing your smartphone, building a playlist, designing your character in a game, or customizing your shoes online. The more effort you put in, the more attached you become. That personalization becomes part of your identity. There's even research showing that people are more committed to political opinions or work projects if they came up with the idea themselves. Even if the outcome isn't very good, the mere act of creation gives it weight. But here's where things get even more interesting. The IKEA Effect also explains why some people resist expert advice. If you've ever written a paper or come up with a business idea, and someone suggests big changes, you might get defensive. That's not just pride. It's the IKEA Effect in action. You've invested effort, and now you're emotionally tied to it. This can lead to overconfidence. Just because we built something doesn't mean it's great, but we feel like it is, and that can make us blind to its flaws. Marketers and product designers understand this deeply. They create experiences that encourage users to do just enough effort to feel invested, but not so much that they give up. It's a delicate balance. If the assembly is too hard, customers get frustrated and abandon the process. But if it's just hard enough to be satisfying, it locks them in emotionally. IKEA is a master of this balance. Their furniture is just complex enough to require time and attention, but simple enough to finish without calling a professional. And when you're done, the object feels like yours in a way a pre-assembled piece never could. It's the same logic behind DIY home renovations, knitting, gardening, or journaling. The product may not be perfect, but it's personal. This also has implications for motivation. Research shows that people are more engaged and satisfied when they work on things they've had a hand in shaping. When you're allowed to build, tweak, or contribute to something, you feel a sense of purpose and pride. The IKEA Effect gives us insight into how we relate to work, relationships, and ourselves. Ever wonder why parents proudly display their children's scribbled drawings on the fridge? Or why a startup founder clings to their flawed first product? It's the same effect. Labor equals love. Effort equals value. Even in relationships, this concept applies. We tend to value people or experiences we've worked for, whether it's building a connection, resolving a conflict, or supporting someone through a difficult time. But the IKEA effect isn't always positive. Sometimes we overvalue what we built, even when it's not good. This is known as a not invented here bias. Companies may reject outside ideas simply because they didn't come up with them. Or people may stay stuck in bad systems just because they created them. It's important to recognize when effort leads to genuine improvement and when it just causes emotional attachment to flawed results. Understanding the IKEA effect can help you make better decisions. Whether you're shopping, creating, collaborating, or managing a team, ask yourself, am I valuing this because it's truly the best option? Or because I built it? Recognizing the bias doesn't make the effort meaningless. In fact, it makes it more meaningful, because now you know why you care so much. That bookshelf isn't just wood and screws. It's your time, your frustration, your persistence. And that's worth something. So the next time you put together something with your own two hands and you feel that extra spark of pride, just know your brain is rewarding you for the effort. You didn't just build a product. You built meaning. And that, in the end, might be the most valuable thing of all. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. It really helps the channel. Subscribe if you want to learn more about the psychology behind everyday decisions. And tell us in the comments, what's something you built yourself that you still treasure? Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.